Okay, let's figure this out. So basically, I have never really liked the sketches that I use for the starting now and be right back thing. Oh, hello. Thank you for the follow. So what I'm working on right now is I want to make an illustration that I'm proud of, that I'm happy with. Um, So this is in the dimensions of the 1920 by 1080, but I also don't want it to be that size specifically, so I just made that. Oh, hello. Oh, Ace. Hello. Hi, Mithra. Hi, Sask. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just setting up the canvas for it. So uh, it's huge, and it doesn't need to be quite that tall. I think it could be 24 by 18, which is a pretty common poster size in case I wanted it to be a poster. And then this, uh, I'm just using this as a way to figure out the margins so that the most interesting stuff is in here. And then the rest of it's going to be like for if I ever decide to, I don't know, have it on my wall. Okay. Um, yeah, close enough. And then make sure this side isn't too far over. I figured I would include the formatting stuff because some people might find that interesting. So I'm setting this to 10% opacity uh, because it's showing the active area for this for when it's on stream. So I'm gonna have two illustrations, and I was actually thinking about this when I was on my walk today, which by the way, it was too hot out. Again, it was nice yesterday, which tricked me into thinking that it was gonna continue to be nice out. Um, but um, I'm gonna do some thumbnail sketches, and I'm just gonna do them on the full size thing, but I'm gonna zoom out. But I was thinking, I live in a deserty area, so it's very often. Oh, hi Ollie. Yeah, it's been way too hot up. So it's. I was thinking, I have more of an idea of what I want the. I'm actually gonna switch from pencil to a different thing. Let me something that'll maybe a brush. Yeah, that works. So actually no, gouache. Oh yeah, that's good. Because I don't want to get too caught up in the details. Uh, I live in a deserty area, and there are mice in desert climates. I was thinking instead of having a mouse in like a tree hole, and this would be for something like the um for the be right back screen where the mouse is taking like a little rest. Maybe it's inside of a cactus. Okay, I'm gonna do just a couple quick sketches to try and get a vague idea. So we'd have like other cactuses here and maybe some mountains and the night sky. And you know it's the night sky because there's the moon. Let's make the moon a little bit yellow so I can see it better. Uh, and then um, the mouse would be sort of inside here, and you'd know that it's inside a cactus because you can see the spikes on the outside. But the mouse has its own little nest. So right now I'm just doing the ideas for it. But I have been thinking about this. I also have another couple illustrations that I want to do on stream at some point. Let's see, the mouse. And then it could have like some flowers, because cactuses can have flowers, and maybe the mouse took the flowers. I don't know. And then the mouse could be resting. So that's the placeholder for mouse, like where it would be. Okay, so that's my first idea. Second idea. This one is like for the starting soon. I don't know. I'll just do some sketches. And well, I attempted to zoom in more to get into the details, but that's a trap. Okay. There's these prickly pear cactuses that I see a lot. Because I'm more of I'm not really suited for a desert climate, but I want to celebrate where I am instead of always wishing to be somewhere else, you know? Little mouse here. Taking like a step forward, that's important. So, and looking towards the future. A mouse, okay. You make it smaller. I want it to be on that 1/3 line. Yeah, cactus flowers are very pretty. Maybe these turn into flowers, I think. Or at least I've seen one. Maybe I'm thinking of the king cup cactus. Okay, well that's an idea. And another thing I was thinking of is oasis. So if I have like okay. That's kind of an aerial view. I don't know if I want to go with an aerial view, but I'll keep going with this idea for the moment. Like, it have little puddles of water. Mouse. Not really feeling that idea. Another thing I could do is I could have the ground be like pretty low on the page, and I could have the mouse like in this area with resting on some flowers, and then I could have like big cactuses. Did you know that when a cactus has an arm like this, that it's like a very old cactus? They don't all have like it's not very common for them to have those. I haven't actually seen a cactus here that has an arm. I know that they exist, I just don't go to many places. And then we could have, now I would want these to be on the other part of the canvas. Maybe I'll just go with a different kind of cactus. But it needs to be, because I'm thinking I would have the moon here and maybe the mouse is like outside. I want a sort of swoop like this. Or maybe like this. Something cozy. We could have the foreground ones here. A roadrunner and a coyote. I do see roadrunners pretty frequently. They do not go beep beep. Hold on, let me adjust the audio mixer just a little bit. Okay, and then I need to turn down the music on my end. Where is it? It's a little loud. There. Okay. Can you still hear the music? No, yeah, roadrunners are actually quite vicious. I saw one a while back that that was like it attacked the okay, music is at a good volume. Good. It attacked the um group of sparrows that were at the park and grabbed one and started like, well, it ended up eating it. I won't go too much into detail. But yeah, they will eat anything that they are big enough to get their hands on, or their beaks, I guess is the case. Another thing I could do is just have like a mouse with like a big pencil like what I have, and then the text could be right here, but that's kind of boring to me. Like, it's not bad, it's just I don't know, I kind of want to do a scene. I like doing scenes, but that is an idea. Okay, let me just look at the ideas that I have so far. So there's a mouse inside a cactus. Oh, I could do the outside version of that. So, like, you see the cactus and the mouse in it. Cactuses are very much home to a lot of critters. You've got like the little home, and then the moon, or maybe, let's scoot this over a bit, scoot that down, get rid of this, and instead, oh, Sask says, they are the butts of the desert bird kingdom, just like magpies are of the winter bird kingdom. Yeah, cactuses are like a water source in the desert. They're very important. There's this game that I play called My Time at Portia, which part of me, okay, I'll be honest, I was pretty tired after my walk because of how hot it was, and I was like, what if I just do a surprise? We're not drawing today, we're just playing this game that I've been in the middle, like, put several hours in already. But then I was like, no, I need to draw. I could have the mouse. So I could have like lines on the cactus, and then the mouse could be looking at the moon while climbing the cactus. It's still not quite compositionally where I would want it to be, though. Move the moon over a bit. It's not bad. It's just, so there's this rule of thirds. It's not really a rule, that's just what they call it. Where you want your compositional elements to be on, like, I could just make a grid so that I don't have to constantly estimate it. How do I do that? I know there's a drop mark, inner bar. I know there's a way to do it. You wouldn't mind a gameplay though if I ever want to. Yeah, I was playing Dragon Age for a bit, but then I got really tired, and like when I was streaming, people weren't really wanting to watch. Grid settings. Oh wow, I didn't know I could do that. But I think what I need is the ruler bar, 0, and then, oh, it's at 24. So the third mark for this would be 8. Whoop. Yeah, that's close enough. And then 16, 15, 16. And then if this one is 18 inches tall, then that would be 6 and 12. So the concept behind this is that, oh, I already had my tool. That if you're, oh, see, it's almost exactly at the third mark. Thirds. If you have your important elements, on these intersections, then they'll stand out more. People's eyes will be drawn to it. There are other ways of developing a composition. Something that I find interesting is if you've ever seen Secret of Kells or any of the movies that those artists made, and I want the eyes to be there, so just slightly off. They use a lot of center compositions, which are very powerful if you know what you're doing with them, and they're really good for certain types of drawings. Um, but they they're if you aren't using them for the right kind of drawing, it makes it look stale. There's the golden mean or ratio, I guess. I don't. It's pretty similar to this, but it's not super necessary. So I'm just gonna modify these real quick so that they would all be on the third marks. I do have to remember that this is based off of the big composition. They're slightly off for the crop, but I think that's okay. You can see I just sort of naturally put that one there. I don't like that one as much. This one, yeah, this one could be scooched over a bit. But it's not really a rule in that, like, you have to do it or you're wrong. They're more guidelines. Okay. So I've got a few options here. I like this one. It's kind of simple, though. It's a little flat. That one's boring. This one I like, where the mouse is sort of resting. I mean, I could just do all of them. Not that one. Don't like that one. Don't like that one. This one I like. It's a little similar to this one, except the cactuses are different. And then that one is nice too. I want to try another variant of this. And I'm going to quickly look up a reference for cactuses. Mouse in cactus. Wow, there's a cactus mouse. Okay, Wikipedia rabbit hole. Or mouse hole, I guess. Cactus mouse. Cool. Oh, their feet are naked. Wow. Okay. Hey, they kind of live in this area. That makes sense. Cactus mouse. Cactus mouse could be another word for like a hedgehog or a porcupine. Cactus mouse. These are cute. Things that live in cactuses. A lot. Oh wow, I guess birds do make holes in cactuses, which makes sense, like woodpeckers and stuff. Okay. So this mouse maybe is in a little bird hole. Let me set this even lower opacity. I don't want to just trace over it. I want to just know that I'm going with a different sort of idea. Maybe the mouse is sleeping. Oh, that's on the same layer. Sleeping mouse. Little bits of grass. Oh, I guess I'm going with a different idea. Very much wanting the moon to be part of the be right back, like having the mouse resting. I feel like that would be a nice little drawing for when if I ever do longer streams and need to take breaks and stuff. These are tiny cactuses, by the way, not rocks. They're just little. So the freelance thing that I've been working on in August is going to be ending soon because August is ending soon. So I'm thinking I might start up Tuesday streams again, but I'm not sure. I know a lot of people Friday is good for them, and it wouldn't be replacing it. It would just be like in addition to. Sass got distracted by cactuses. Yeah, they're very interesting. I wish that I had time to do research before that, but I got back from my walk and I was like, oops, I still need to like brush my teeth and uh, sweaty because it was hot outside and it was gross. Okay, so we've got a few different options. That's the struggle though, is that now I don't know what option I want to go with. I still like the idea, but this composition isn't quite what I was thinking. Uh, it just needs to be a little bit different. Because they're not perfectly round shapes because of the way the cactus is, and I think that I could make a more interesting shape than what I had on that thumbnail. Something like this. And then maybe it like loops around like the cactus has started growing back and recovering. Then you've still got the cactus spines. They're like hotels for desert creatures. Yeah, it's really interesting. Um, I would love to go to a place that has like um, a lot of cactuses. Okay, I think um, the moon could be here. The moon doesn't have to be on one of the third marks. It might be better if it is, but it's not necessarily a focal point. It's just there. And then I could go with some of the cool rock features that we have where I live. I'm not going to say where I live because I don't want to dox myself. um, but it's a desert climate. And it's been taking me a long time to get used to it. I could have like a coyote here. Um, and I could have a little roadrunner if I want. That roadrunner is huge in this thumbnail. Whatever. And then more cactuses that are like closer, and then would have some that are far away. And then the mouse itself, you 100% support the Roadrunner being in there. Okay, the tricky part that I'm coming across is I don't know how I want the inside of the cactus to look for the mouse. Like I want it to be cozy, like a little safe place for this mouse. I guess I could have the cactus flowers, like the mouse has been stealing them because, or I guess foraging would be a better phrase for it. So we could have some cactus flowers. um, some grass that the mouse has made a little nest out of. Okay, yeah, this is looking better than this one was. The second pass. And then the mouse can be snoozing here. Want its face to be on the third mark. Or it could be looking at the moon, either way. But I feel like snoozing might be better for a be right back. Or I guess it doesn't really matter. I can just do whatever I want. That's another thing that just, okay, I'm gonna make another layer and do the mouse sketch a couple different times just to see what kind of pose I like. Oh, that color's way too bright. Okay, that's fine. So it could be looking sort of towards that, and then its body could be facing away. That kind of gets the be right back sort of thing, where like if the mouse is looking towards the outside, but it's in its little mouse house, that kind of works. Let me give it a little more nest there. Could hold a sign saying "Be right back." That's what I have for the current thing. I literally, okay, I'll show you what I currently have. So you've seen the starting soon screen, where it's got the little sign there and it's in a little house, and then the "Be right back" screen is like it's going back in there. I did those in like 15 minutes, and they're good placeholders, I guess. Like they're not bad, especially because I don't use them very often. But I wanna put the same care into my stream channel that I put into the like illustrations and art that I've been making. I don't want it to just be a little sketch. Could have that I did like 15 minutes before my very first stream. Could have the mouse holding a little flower. Nah, not that. We could have the mouse lounging like I had in the original one. But that kind of is like how I did the mouse illustration with the laundry, and I don't want to repeat that. Another alternative is I could move the mouse to this one, looking at the moon. I could have it like there. I think that having it kitty corner from the moon works better though, compositionally. Because then I'd have to fill this area with something more interesting than the mouse, and that could get distracting. Also, it weighs the composition pretty heavily to that side, which I don't want to do. I want it to feel more balanced. Mouse. Should I have it be the same little wizard mouse that I use for my icon? That could be kind of cute. kind of like having it here. Maybe tilt it a bit more, lower it not too much because I'm working with two different size canvases. So the third marks that I have here are for the overall one. That might be boring right there. Could have a little wizard mouse. Little character. I'll keep thinking about that. Not that one. All of my rejects, I'm just sort of gonna put in a folder here. Not that one. That one could work. Little, like it's facing us, but it's looking away. I kind of like that. It adds to the sort of circular composition that I'm going for. Okay. Wizard mouse, very on brand. Yeah, I try not to think too much about like branding and stuff. That one was cute. I still like that one. Okay, so we're gonna start with this one, and I'm gonna put the original one down here. And then I think I'm gonna go with a mouse facing us but looking back. Okay. Create folder. I don't want to name them rejects. I'll just name it process because they're part of the process. Okay. That one was cute. I might work on it later. One of the reasons why I'm not deleting them is because I want to, if I want to draw them later, then I have the thumbnail still. Because, like, I like a lot of these, but just not for the purposes of what I'm doing. I do like, okay, so these are sort of the same, like, on a theme. They're just a little, this one, I would want it to be the sun instead of the moon if it's the starting soon screen. I want it to day and night. That's what I want in a desert with a mouse. I kind of like this one. It's got more of a... There, okay. So I have my two basic compositions. Let me put this in a folder. And then I'm going to start with the nighttime one. The mouse standing on the cactus with flowers. Oh, I'm glad you like it. It's one of the ones that I like too. And it's gonna be like pointing forward, like a, yeah, we've got this. And it could have a little wizard cape if I'm going with the same little character. High five, yeah. Okay, night. Thumbnail. And then day thumbnail. So I could foresee this document getting pretty big. I'm gonna try, and so I have a couple different styles that I like working in. I have that painterly one, which I've been doing a lot with the stream. I have a more line art one with like cell shading and stuff like that, which is really good for comics and is what I'm more comfortable with. But I kind of want to combine them. I want to try doing a simplified style where it's like most of it is just flat colors with just a little bit of lighting. I want to see if I can do that. I also moved all of the Toasted Tad brushes to their own little folder because I really like the texture that they've got. So the next step of the process that I want to do is come up with color palettes. So it's nighttime. I want this one to be a cool color palette. Cool not as in like, oh yeah, that's so cool, but as in like temperature. But I don't want it to be cold. Maybe I do. I don't know. That color could work. A blue. Maybe a bit more saturated. Could be fun. Cactus. Colors are very difficult for me. I'm not colorblind, which would make them even harder, but it is like, and I know a lot of color theory, I just get so picky. Do I want to go with cross complementary? Do I want to go with, that's kind of a nice color. Kind of looks good. I need a dark color, like a darker blue. And then maybe like a more pink color. What I'm doing right now, I'm probably going to end up taking this blue and then going over these with it, but on an overlay layer. Because digital art, so it's kind of like when you're mixing a paint palette and you've put everything, like you mix a little bit of one color into everything, it ties it all together. I'm thinking maybe I'll do that, but I also like the saturated of the base. So I don't know. But I think this is more harmonious overall. Let me just do that. I think I'll need some yellows. Light yellows. Yeah. Okay, so that's kind of um it. I think I'm going to continue thinking about that, and I'm going to do a more refined sketch since uh I can. I am in the mood to do that. Okay. Cactus flowers. Yeah, cactus flowers are very bright and beautiful colors, with a lot of petals. Ooh, I like the orange ones, but I also like the pink ones. Orange and pink, I think, are the direction I want to go for that. Give it some texture, ridges. The pinks are your favorite? Yeah. I tend to like orange flowers a lot, but I also like pink ones. They're just there's just something so pleasant about them. Yellow ones are nice too. I don't know. My mom really likes flowers, and so I tend to take pictures of them when I go outside. So I've started liking them more too. Yeah, I like spending a lot of time outside, which is why when I prefer when it gets cooler outside, um, just so that like I'm sensitive to heat, and so if it's colder out, then I can spend more time outside. But I agree, nature should be appreciated more. Like like I went outside and I saw so many birds and flowers and trees. Like even in the desert, there's so much life. And one of these little cactuses will have a flower. I'm thinking the very small one. So if I have the moon here-ish, and then I could have like make this cliff really tall, sort of like almost pointing at it and framing it. So last Saturday, I went to an event that was at like a park kind of far away from me, like not super far, um, but it was higher elevation and it took probably like 40 minutes to get there. But it was absolutely gorgeous. There were trees there. Um, there were like all some of the trees had this lichen on it. It was like a very, very pronounced lichen. Um, and um I saw a raven. Like sometimes when I see a crow, I'm like, "Oh, is that a crow or a raven?" No, you know when it's a raven. Like you know. They're huge. But I greatly enjoyed being there. Even though I was very tired for like 4 days after. Okay, turn the thumbnail off real quick. How do I feel about that? I feel okay about it. I think adding more of the cactuses in the middle ground will help. Hmm. I don't like the placement of that one. I don't like having it touching the edge of this cactus that the mouse is in. Yeah, that's a bit better. And then this one can have a flower on the top as well. When I first moved here, I had to get out of the habit. Where I used to live, when I would go on walks, I would just sort of like absent-mindedly brush my hand against the plants, because it was like bushes and just I don't know, soft grasses. And then I did that here and got a handful of cactus prickles because there's cactuses. There's a lot of them. That's most of the things here. Ravens also have a slightly curved beak. Yeah, the easiest way to tell them apart though is that ravens are just really freaking massive. They're huge. You can see why. Wait, ravens or cactuses are often in scary stories and movies. Probably ravens. I would assume you're talking about a raven. Ravens, yeah. Cactuses are just sort of silly looking. That's a lot of stuff pointing to the moon. Maybe that's too many things. Whatever. Okay, I'm just gonna grab a couple reference pictures real quick. I'm not going to trace over any of them because they're not pictures that I've taken, but I am using them as a reference for shapes and ideas and stuff. Okay. And then okay. So I've got a couple reference pictures. There. Sort of looking at them. You've got these ones where the petals are pretty distinct. These ones are like very pointed. So, and then these ones are rounder. And it looks like they all have in common that these middle bits, which I used to know the name for, what is it, stomata? I don't know. Those are pretty colorful. But I think I could make up my own shapes. I think I want to go with a rounder shape because I want it to feel friendly. I want it to feel friendly, which is a little difficult when I've got the cactus spikes and such. Maybe I'll have a flower petals on this cactus on the outside. Nah, not there. Plants lean towards a light source. Yeah, I have a short comic about that actually. Well, it's more about growing up, but it's got like the premise involves plants. It's one I've been working on and off for a while, and it's been a little bit challenging because the the comic itself, okay, and they've got like layers of petals. The comic itself is a little bit disjointed, and that's on purpose. It's supposed to be uh, kind of about like how when you grow up, you lose parts of yourself, but then it's also like about gaining and keeping parts of yourself too. Um, it's bittersweet, but it's hard to work on specifically because it's a thing that I've been thinking about a lot. So as I am growing up, like I'm an adult, but you know, your 20s are all about like learning how to be an adult, I guess. Um, but it follows these two kids who start off in a field of sunflowers, uh, and they start discussing how they've been move tilt towards the sun. Am I putting too much detail into this flower? Maybe. Oh well. Let me get the basic shape done first, though. Okay. I want it to take up that space. There's a part of me where it's like, oh, I wish that I was making sillier things, more whimsy, because I like those kinds of things. But then I always end up making like sad stories. Maybe I can be whimsical and silly in real life because I just put all of that stuff in stories instead. I don't know how I feel about that flower. I think I've made the petals too small. Yeah, let's just get rid of it. Nope. 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 Okay, so like, okay, that sort of has that direction. I don't feel like sketching that right now. I'm gonna move on to the mouse. I'm gonna do the mouse on a separate layer in case I need to make adjustments to the sketch, so I don't have to worry about overlapping it with things. Loki has entered the chat. He says hi. Hi, Loki. The other illustration I thought about working on today was way different from these. I've drawn a lot of animals on stream, which is fun, but also I draw other things too. Um, and there's this one thumbnail that I did, or I guess it's more of a sketch at this point, um, that involves like a knight and a dragon, and I thought that that could be fun. But I really want to get the starting soon and be right back screens for the stream to be like looking nice. I know mice have um, their eyes are on the side, but this is a cartoon mouse, and uh, it's gonna have forward-facing eyes. This mouse is a predator. You pictured a mouse with the predator. Yeah. Um, the predator helm. I haven't actually seen the predator. Okay. It's worth the watch. It's got the Terminator in it. I haven't seen the Terminator. This mouse looks concerned. I don't want it to look concerned. That was an easy fix. Give it a little mouth. If I want it to have a tooth, I'll leave that in for now while I ponder the tooth. Seeing the dentist next week, so I've thought about teeth a lot. I don't like the tooth. What should the mouse be holding? It could be holding the wizard hat. There's a comic that I want to make that has mouse main characters. It involves um, dimension like dimension traveling uh, and stuff like that. The Predator movies are mostly gunshots and gore, very action macho. Well, this mouse it's nighttime, so it's probably not super hot. I don't think it would be fanning itself with the hat. I think that it's like putting the hat away or something. I don't know. I can get back to that part later. I also want there to be whiskers. Okay, back to the rest of it. I'm gonna actually do the flower sketch on a separate layer as well, for ease of editing. Because right now, if I want to make major changes, I have to erase all around it. Easier to just mouse flowers. I need to look up what the inside of a cactus looks like. Inside of cactus. Wow, it almost looks like a corn cob. That's funny. I guess they call them cactus bones, which is funny. I've got like a smooth, light color inside. And a lot of cactuses also have these like vertical ridges too. A lot of drawing is just looking at things and deciding what you want to keep and what you want to ignore. Like, I'm going to be adding a little bit more texture to the inside of the cactus than I think would actually be there. I'm also going to add the back of the mouse hole, I guess. Which is going to be like, hold on. I want to use this brush. Oh, I just realized part of the mouse is cut off. If from the, although that is assuming that the active area is exactly in the middle, I can do this. There. That part would be showing up on stream. Yeah, that works. Sounds check, something happened. Oh, what happened? Sorry, I was not looking at the stream chat. I hope it wasn't too bad. Flowers. A bell sound when I spoke. Huh. Okay, well, it's gone now. Sorry about that. Can we name this mouse Cactus Bones? Yeah, we can name this mouse Cactus Bones. Let me make a note of that. His name is Cactus Bones Jones. Okay, his name is Cactus Bones Jones. Oh, wait, that's on the wrong layer. There we go. And are these little things called the stomata? There's something. They're called something. I like to think that Cactus Bones Jones goes out to look for flowers from cactuses during the day. And he takes them to his home in a cactus. Maybe that's what he's holding. He's a lover of flowers. Yeah, he could hold a flower petal or like a little flower. Ooh, what is it? It would be, he's holding like when one hasn't quite bloomed yet and it's closed. That's what he's holding. A bud. Yeah, a flower bud. Specifically, not the weed bud, although I guess that is also a, I don't know. Holding a flower bud. And he's like placing it um with his collection on his nest. Weeds can be so pretty though. Yeah. Um a weed is just a plant that is um not wanted in the area for whatever reason. They're not like bad plants. They're actually really important for ecological regrowth. So one of the reasons why people have to work so hard to make lawns just with grass is that um, a lawn that is only grass is replicating a the amount of um, ecological like variation that would happen after pretty much only naturally occurs when there's been a horrible um like not I don't know the what word to use for it, but like when there's been a lot of destruction, because there's pretty much never just one type of plant, and a weed is the first kind of plant that will grow in those situations. They're critical for regrowth of devastated areas because they can take in sunlight really quickly, and they will um, grow fast, and then um, once they've been there for a little bit of time, bigger and bigger plants will grow in. So you've got like, hold on, let me. Um, so you've got an area that has been devastated and only has like a little bit of growth, but you've got the sunlight going in. Uh, Plants like dandelions, grasses that grow fast, things like that will swoop in and they'll eat up all of that sunlight. And then as time passes, because they've um, absorbed the sunlight, they've turned it into nutrients and stuff like that. Some of them will grow into bushes. You'll get things like bushes and shrubs, and then that means that there's less sunlight for those weeds, and so they naturally die off as bigger and bigger things like trees will grow in, and all of this area is shaded, and so it creates these areas where it's not all the same trophic. I don't know. It's not all the same level. You've got areas that have more sunlight where you'll still get those little plants growing in. You've got areas with less sunlight where the bigger plants that create homes for like birds and squirrels and other animals, where depending on where you live, and you'll have different types of trees. And all of these different plants and animals that live in this area that used to be devastated can only grow in when after you've had those starter plants, those weeds grow in. Uh, and the reason why lawns take so much work is because nature wants to fix it. It wants to create um, that area. It wants to fix the monoculture, I guess. Because and so people have to constantly pull out weeds, um, and that's just sort of why that happens. There's other people who've like gone to school and studied that sort of stuff that know more of the terminology and know more of the ins and outs and the specifics, but that's like my basic knowledge. If I were to ever have a place of my own, I wouldn't want, and like if I had a bit of land, I guess, I wouldn't want to have a grass yard. There are areas and reasons why it might be helpful to have grass, and like there are places where they just grow naturally, like I think it's Scotland where golf was invented. It just rains so much that the fields there just sort of naturally grow that way, and they don't take as much of the resources that golf would take anywhere else. So like, and I do think that it's helpful to have an area where people can, I guess, like play games and stuff like that. Like I love my park, even though a good chunk of it is grass. So like it has its uses. I just wouldn't want a lawn full of that. I would rather have more variation. Um, Sask says that's why I'm leaning towards making a natural lawn that's not grass. You've seen a few around town and they look great. Yeah, there's this one area, this well, a couple houses that are. I think I'm actually gonna turn. Maybe I should have this. I need to have a lot of flowers. This is gonna be a pain to render, but also it's gonna be kind of relaxing at the same time. Um, They're the houses that I walk by, some of them have lawns, and I'm like, okay, we live in a desert. How much water are you putting into that? But there are other people who have made their entire um, yard area, like their land, into like they've got trees, they've got shrubs, they've got local everything, and it looks gorgeous. And I see all of these like bees, and I see there are so many kinds of bees here. Um, and I see all sorts of wonderful like critters, just sort of like existing, and it's very, very. I love looking at it. Oh, and plenty of cactuses, of course. Loads of cactuses. I like imagining the mouse carrying these flowers back. Anyway, that was Eli's rant about lawns and weeds. I could keep going about lawns, like the history of lawns, and uh, they were a status symbol. They still kind of are, but like the whole purpose of them was to show off. Uh, Look how much work I can pour into this useless crop that doesn't provide anything and takes so much water and time to maintain. And we've just, and like in America, is just sort of like continued that way, which is like, okay, uh, and it's just sort of accepted, like it's just expected that people will have freshly cut grass and only grass, and if there's any plants, then you only have specific flowers, you only have specific things, and to the point where like there are plenty of people who would want to have a more natural area cultivated, but they literally can't because of a homeowners association, or their landlord forces them to keep the stuff at a certain height. And then there's also a lot of people who just don't know. Like, if you've never thought about it or really had reason to question it, why would you? I'm adding some straw for bedding, and also to break up the flower plants. I guess it's more of a grassy thing, but Sass says yes. It's all big grass money trying to tell us how to live our lives. Yeah, I'm lucky that the landlord of where I am, the whole area is basically just it's just rocks. There's a couple plants, but it's mostly just rocks, and that's how a lot of areas are. Like a lot of people are. It's easier to maintain. You do get some weeds growing in that he has us remove, but for the most part, like the soil is bad enough that most things don't want to live there. Um, okay. So I've got a pretty good sketch going on here. And then, do I want clouds or do I want it to be a clear night? Maybe I'll have some clouds like, because it is a desert, we don't often have, like, it's very common for it to be clear skies, but we do have clouds at times. Oh, that's on the flowers layer. Let me. There. I don't know how to draw a coyote. Hmm, could do. Let me look up coyote. A coyote. Coyote. Google keeps trying to put the word cactus after all of my searches now. So they're basically just like fox dogs. It'll kind of look like a wolf, but that's okay. It's also going to be smaller than that because there's distance. Okay, and then, oh, baby coyotes are cute. There's the coyote. And then I'm going to put a real tiny roadrunner up here because roadrunners are not as big as they are in the cartoon. Apparently the person who made the like Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner thing put a ton of effort into like symbolism behind it. Like it's about the coyote. The coyote always makes himself. He always gets himself into trouble. Like he'll be chasing the roadrunner, and if he gave up or like moved on, then he would be fine. And it's like about, I think it was about like addiction or something like that, like something wild. He has um, this whole document detailing different like rules that the animators and storyboarders and stuff would have to follow, and like the symbolism behind all of the actions. Sask says coyotes have been interbreeding with many dogs and they have many looks to them now. They are adorable. They're between a wolf and a dog, but they're very dangerous and smart pack hunters. Yeah, I know that one of my friends, also I need to put another flower there. I just realized that the composition needs it. One of my friends has like a bunch of farm animals and lives away from the city area, and they have coyotes and such eating animals at times, and like she has them blocked off, but I mean, especially the chickens, they will just leave the area. They'll leave safety because they want to, and so she's sort of given up on keeping them all safe like that. But she does her due diligence for it. But coyotes have definitely eaten some of her animals. Okay. Then I'm gonna have like some more grasses. Okay, I feel like this mouse has a really nice little home. I would want to live there. Okay, so that's the sketch for the first one. My goodness. And then I'll revisit the color palette and look into them a bit more. What was that? Oh yeah, his name is Cactus Bones Jones. But I am going to start the next one. What if Cactus Bones Jones had like a little like pattern on his fur that was like a rib cage almost, like spots that looked like a rib cage. That would be kind of fun. And maybe he's got like a little skull sort of spot here as well. Yeah, like that's just how he is. Okay. With the day thumbnail here. Okay. And he's going to be wielding a cactus needle here. I think that'll be real nice. I'm actually going to hide that layer a bit. There. Okay, lower the opacity just a bit. So I really like how this cactus, the needles kind of curl. I think that looks real neat. I'm gonna have the ridges. I was originally gonna do a prickly hair cactus, but maybe I still will. I could have a couple different kinds. Although I do find that the prickly hair cactuses grow in a clump. Let me look them up. There's some that are right outside, so I'm gonna take pictures later, but they're kind of like flat in a way. Maybe I will go with the more rounded one. Hmm. I could always just mix and match cactus types too. There's no rule against it. One of these is gonna be blooming, but just one. Really liked the general shape of the clump of cactuses here on the thumbnail. Thought it was nice. Wondering if someday I would want to have a pet mouse. I would need to look into their needs because I'm not gonna get a pet without understanding how to care for them. Another thing about these illustrations is I feel like either one, like this one, I went into it with the idea of starting soon, but I could just as easily like just alternate which one each week because I don't use the BRB one very often. You've never had one or knew someone that had pet mice, but rats make lovely pets. Yeah, yeah. Um, I that's what I've heard is that rats are generally better pets. Um, and yeah, they are social creatures, mice and rats. I know somebody who does a lot with guinea pigs, so I'm wondering maybe guinea pig would maybe they would know something about other rodents. I don't know how to get his foot to read. There's supposed to be um, stepping forward and like using this one to prop themselves up. If I had a rat, I would name it Remy, like in Ratatouille. Hmm. Doesn't feel like it has as much of a sense of weight as I'm hoping. Here, let me try again. It's a bit better. Let me try angling that a bit more. almost there. It's better than the first one. He needs his markings. They're both kind of profiles, but I think that's okay for a set. His nose is a little too long. Let me fix that. There. I bet I could make this pose work a little better if I adjust the fruit there. And then this one is going to be a flower, I think. Do they turn into flowers? Well, this one does. Okay, and then it needs the needles as well. And then I feel like it needs a background as well because this one is so packed full of stuff. This one I feel like needs a little bit more as well. Been really enjoying making sort of like sloped sloped ground. Like, instead of having the horizon line just be flat, I've been enjoying sloped ones recently. I want to remember that there's going to be a little bit of shine on the needle, the cactus needle there. I kind of want to see a platforming game now that involves a mouse traversing the desert, and you have to like jump on the different, like on the safe parts, or you get pricked by the cactus needle. That would be fun. I don't know a whole lot about game design, but maybe someday. And something that I've been thinking about a lot recently is that it would be a lot of fun to do art for a like a card game or a board game or a video, like some sort of game. I think I would have a lot of fun with that. This one's going to be a different kind of cactus right here. This one could have a flower. Defending the flower from a bird or an animal, like some kind of animal. That's an idea. But he's looking off the page. And the composition is already pretty so I know that there's a lot of stuff here, but the composition is pretty heavily weighted on this side because of the negative space. So I think that I could put something in this area, perhaps. But let's see. Adding the needles does help fill in the space a lot, though. Helps make it fit in a bit more with that area. And then this one, I'll have an active area in each folder so that I don't have to worry about moving them every time. Okay. So I think that that's where I'm going to call it for today. I'll be working on these again next week. Also, I'm going to save right now because I just realized I haven't saved this entire time. Okay, Cactus Bones Jones has been saved. Thank you for hanging out and watching. I hope you're having a good time. I know that it was a slower pace, and it's back to usual after that sketch request stream. I'm gonna work on these two illustrations and possibly one or two more, and then I'm going to do another sketch request stream, or at least that's the plan right now. But I hope you have a good rest of your Friday. If you have the weekend off, have a good weekend. If you don't, I hope you get a break soon. And yeah, I'll be streaming next week. Bye.